What's up, knife people? Back again with more of these knives. Start you off with a quick look at this Demco 8020.5 from DLT Trading, OD Green, Ivory Scales, stone washed, OS 10 blade, shark lock. Just a fun knife. I've been carrying it for a few days now. Very fun, a little thick behind the edge, but it gets the job done. So for nice, medium carry EDC, I do recommend it. So again, 8020.5. Go try to get your hands on one, and we'll put that to the side. Hope everybody's doing good, starting off the year good. I did say I was going to start this year off with a little bit of a twist, not doing so much unboxings, but yet I'm gonna try to get into some knives that I haven't touched on. I had a friend of mine that gave me a few knives a while back to try out, and starting off, I'll be giving you my opinions on REEVES, in particular the Sebenza large. I've had it for maybe a month or two now, and I've carried it periodically. It's a full titanium knife, and basically just give you my opinions on it and what I think. I'm gonna call it bash or buy. So if I bash it, most likely I don't like it. If I do like it, most likely I'd buy it again, or buy it for myself. So again, these are knives I don't have in my collection, and basically thank you to my friend for letting me borrow a couple models that I don't have, so just to get a feel for them and give you guys my opinion. So let me know what you guys think about it as well. So here we go. Again, it's a full titanium knife, neutral handle. You got a thumb stud. You can get double thumb studs on some models. They have various models. This is an aftermarket clip on here, so you can tell you can get one. This model in particular sits on the lock bar, the clip, which I don't like too much. This is the Sebenza 21, I believe. The new model, I think the only differences are with they have some sort of detent lock, like the Untitled, and they changed that from the 31 to the 21. And also, I believe they got rid of this hole here, which is some kind of hole they had in there for machining purposes. But other than that, from my knowledge, that's the only differences. The lock bar geometry stuff, and or the detent lock bar, the detent lock functioning mechanism in here somewhere, which I heard gives it a little bit of play. This one has no play. So some people I heard had a couple opinions on that. So overall, just in comfort wise, it's a very comfortable knife to have or to hold. This is large size hands. You have a little extra space if you have bigger hands. You got some nice neutralized jimping up here. You got a crown spine with a swedge. Nice drop point, hollow ground out blade. You see there a little bit. Let's see if we can get behind that blade. You see there. That's the lock bar after some use. Frame lock, of course, made in Idaho. So it's a nice knife, very well built, nice and heavy duty. I'm not too big on titanium frame locks, but I am going to show you a couple of mine from my collection. What else? No real milling that I see on the titanium itself. So just full slabs of titanium. You got the lock bar cut out there. A couple barrel spacers and a lanyard tube, which I think is interchangeable. Didn't really bother me much. But just, overall for me, it was just kind of a blah kind of knife. Well built, but there's just really no fidget factor to it. You can fling it out with the thumb studs. Again, just smooth action, nice and consistent, not Teflon, washer action. Let's see if you can see the washers in there. Yeah, big old washers in there, so no problem there for hard work. No bearings to get dirty. But again, it just doesn't have that real fidget factor for me. It's just kind of a neutral, just everyday type looking knife. No thrills really. But quality wise, it is very well built, very stout. I mean, you feel it when you hold it, use it, tight tolerances. One downside I did have is I don't like how the blade just literally sinks about ½ an inch in there. You can see it's pretty far down. So you're actually going a good distance before you even get the blade out. Yeah. So that was just kind of a downside or a little bash on my end. That's pretty much it. I mean, the screws don't really bother me too much. They are a little big, but again, that goes with the stoutness of the blade. So, I mean, if you want a stout blade, I mean, you probably want to roll with one of these. Also, I'll give you a little comparison later when I get to the hinderer. So that's just kind of my quick little fast 5-minute thoughts on the Sebenza after having it for a while. Would I get another one? We'll see at the end. But let me give you a couple specs here, just to kind of, for those of you that don't know, it does come with a slip. I think most of them do come with a slip still. I probably wouldn't use that as well. I never did use it. I don't think he ever used it either. And this is a model that goes back to, so it won an award show in 2011 or from 2003 to 2011, I guess, apparently, from what that says. So he's had this one probably for a while. So it's, again, that's why it's the 21 and not the 31. So I already gave you my thoughts on that. Let's see here. Let's get the measurements. So here we go. Inch per inch. Let's see where we're at. So we're looking here. This is the Sebenza large. You're going over the 8 inches there. So you're looking at about 8.5. 8.5 inches. Overall, there you go. So you got a 1, 2, 3, 3.5 inch blade. A little more with the rest of the blade there, and overall you got a nice, probably 4.5 inch handle. So, but your grip length is about 4 inches, 4.25. You know, unless you round, you know, grab it back here a little bit. So that's the specs. Open. Here's the measurements closed, just a little under 5 inches. So there you go. Again, not the funnest knife in the bunch, but I mean, just very stout, very clean, just a nice knife. And that's why I got this little hankout. There's the workman's knife, basically, from what everybody else says. So I do see where it gets that name, but let's also measure it, give you a little weight. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, a little stout there, a little about 4.7 ounces. So not too shabby for a big knife. I did hold a Sebenza small a while back, and it was just a little too small for me. I think if you really want to experience a crisp reeve, you might want to go large Sebenza, especially if you're using it for heavy duty stuff type work. But let me get you some comparisons. I'm going to compare it with some of my frame locks, titanium frame locks. I don't have too many because, like I said, I don't really like them too much. Every once in a while, I'll go ahead and get one if I like the style. So for starters, this is a drop, firm forged designed. There you go. One used to be mass drop, goes back a while back. Firm forged design. This is the Falcon, black titanium. frame lock. And this one just has forward choil, a little smaller knife. But I'll show you that. And I'll show you also, this is a carbon fiber top, teardrop from Monterey Bay Knives. This is the Mini OG, the Mini Old Guard. A lot cheaper. This one I think ran about 200. And I think it's on Teflon washers. I haven't taken it off. You know, I haven't taken it apart yet. But you get really the action on this one. No joke, feels almost as smooth as the Sebenza. And I think even Big Red made a comment about it when he brought out his Sea Otter, the one he got from Monterey Bay Knives. He said that forced him to sell the Sebenza he had. So Monterey Bay Knives is doing good things, especially if they're going to do like washers, things like that. The action is very, very smooth. For those of you that have one already, you probably know what I'm talking about. So let me know if I'm wrong there, you know, saying it's comparable to a Sebenza and as far as action or smoothness, but really like it. So that's the OG, the Mini OG. So it's a quick little comparison on those guys. Smaller knives. Bam. Let's say bye to this guy. Flipper, Firm Forge, one of my favorites. Again, more classy carry, the Monterey Bay Knives OG. Then I also have, this is one of my first titanium frame locks, the Pena X Series Rhino. This one was actually adjusted and tuned up by Pena himself when I went to Blade Show West back in 2020, I believe it was. So I haven't touched it or messed with it since. But that's the Pena, a little thick behind the edge there, but nice stout, full, you know, double lug titanium frame lock. And I actually like the holes in it too. Helps you pinch it when you drop it. Smooth action by REEVES. So that's the Pena Rhino, full titanium. Here's another Firm Forge designed. This is the Fortis. Firm Forge design, first production. This has one of the best actions for a flipper. You just see that? It just comes down so smooth. Nice and stout. You get that forward finger choil. Really like that. Choke up. And that's what I mean, that this just has more features on it for a knife than the Sebenza, in my opinion. So here we go. Those are the three lined up. Quick little look. It's pretty big also. Bing! Watch out for that. And what else? And then I'm going to compare it to my Medford Slim Midi. One of my favorites. Had to get this one. Again, it's full titanium as well. Thin knife as well. And this has got some awesome action too, and the sound. And it's flickable, which I hear Sebenza also has a, I don't know if it voids your warranty, but you're not supposed to flick them. And of course my no choil or no flipper XM18 in kind of that battle green, XM18 3.5 with the camo scales aftermarket, fuller non-flipper. Awesome action. This one's on bearings right now, but again, to me, this just has a little more features, like the forward choils, the fuller, the blade shapes. I think you just get more for a titanium frame lock. You can accessorize it with the barrel spacers, pocket clips, so you can really customize these. And I think that's what drives me a little closer to the Hinders, or, you know, attracts me more to the Hinders than the actual Chris Reeve knives, which are a little bit bland, again, in my opinion. So those are the kind of quick comparisons for probably the 3 best American frame locks out there. I don't count Striders right now because you really can't get them. It's very hard to get Striders, but there's the action. Just love it. Woo! Hear that ting, just pop. And then again, finger flick. Can't Spidey flick it, Chris Reeves. So there you go. So maybe I'm letting the cat out of the bag there, but same thing with this one. You get a lot more features. Use the the stud there to take that out. You can use the fuller in the back. And again, just more accessories, more you can do with it. So XM18 3.5. So let's give you the final analysis on this guy. Oops, wait for that ambulance. So I guess my final analysis on this is I really like the build quality. The only thing that I really don't like, that I'm gonna bash on, is the fidgetability, which I know probably doesn't matter to Chris Reeves or anybody who likes them. So, but just in my opinion, this will probably be a knife I will probably buy again at some point. I don't know which model, but I'm not gonna run out and get it for the simple fact that to me it's just like another titanium frame lock. Probably a little more well built, but just the fidget factor is not there for me. And again, it's just kind of plain Jane. I know you can get some that are, that have different designs on them and stuff, but again, you got to pay more for that as well. So to wrap it up, I guess the best way I can put it is, it's like having a supermodel girlfriend that doesn't know how to dance, or that has no dance moves, right? It's a beautiful knife, but it just doesn't give me the satisfaction of taking it to the dance floor and flicking it around or that kind of stuff. So for me, if you just want a work knife, frame lock, well built, American made, Chris Reeve has plenty of different models you can choose from, and I do give them that. So in that aspect, they are doing good. So I won't run out and get one right now, but at some point I will get a Sebenza or maybe an Nkosi or something like that. So again, this is just a quick little rundown, a little bash and buy opinion on what I think of Chris Reeves. In this particular case, the large Sebenza 21. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got. So as always, if you guys like what I do here, tell friends, tell family. Tune back in for some more. Carry your knives. Check back with more D's knives. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one. Bam. Peace. Oh, and also, leave me your opinions on what you think of Chris Reeve knives also in the comments below. Thanks.